My sister bragged at Easter dinner. Not everyone can handle a real career in tech. My grandpa turned to me and asked, "Is that why your company just bought hers?" You could hear a pin drop. Easter dinner at my parents' place has always been a thing. Same dishes, same stories, same overcooked ham, and the same damn tension that clings to the walls like the smell of baked pineapple. Every year, Beth, my older sister by 3 years and 100 inflated accomplishments, slides into her seat at the head of the table like she earned it, like it's a throne. Like she didn't get that spot just because mom always carved the turkey on that end and Beth always sat next to her, soaking in approval like it was sunlight and she was a family plant. This year was no different, except that it was. I was back in town after closing the kind of deal that makes people Google your name, quietly, of course. No interviews, no press photos, just a few lines on LinkedIn and a company-wide email sent at 4 p.m. on a Friday. That's how I like it. That's how I operate, under radar, over results. But Beth operates like a goddamn foghorn in a library. So there we were, mashed potatoes being passed, mom already 2 scotches in. And Beth launching into her latest diatribe about how the tech industry is not for the weak, something about hustle culture and emotional intelligence being overrated. I wasn't even listening at first. I was more focused on trying to cut the dry turkey breast without it crumbling into sawdust. But then she said it. Not everyone, she said, leaning back like a queen at court, can handle a real career in tech. She looked around the table like she expected applause, or at least a nod from mom. And sure enough, mom gave it, that quiet grunt of agreement she only uses when Beth's talking. I didn't flinch, didn't blink, just took a slow sip of red wine while my brain filed that one away. I saw Grandpa Gene glance at me. He didn't say anything yet, but his eyes narrowed, and that's always the warning shot with him. Then came the next round of boasting, Beth talking about how she had to lay off a third of her team last month, said it with a weird pride, like cutting people loose made her some kind of badass leader. She called it right sizing. I called it bullshit. She laughed, said I probably wouldn't understand since I wasn't really in the trenches. I could see Dad shifting in his seat, trying to diffuse things before they turned into one of those passive-aggressive minefields that lasted all weekend. He asked her how the company was doing, and she started throwing out numbers, revenue projections, Q1 losses, investor pressure. All of it sounded impressive unless you actually knew what it meant. Which I did. I kept quiet, not because I was afraid to speak, but because I wanted to see how far she'd go digging her own grave before someone handed her a flashlight. That someone turned out to be Grandpa. Now, for context, Grandpa Gene is pushing 90, but still sharp enough to do his own taxes and destroy egos like he's playing whack-a-mole. He's always played the long game in this family, the patriarch, the observer, the one who remembers everything and forgets nothing. He waited until the moment Beth took a breath between Q4 pivot strategy and managing up the chain of command. Then he casually turned to me and asked the question that would flip the entire table dynamic on its smug little head. Is that why your company just bought hers, Aaron? I swear to God, you could have heard a pin drop. Not just a pin, a dust particle, a breath, a heartbeat. Beth froze, fork halfway to her mouth. Mom stopped chewing mid-bite, which almost never happens unless someone dies or the power goes out. Dad stared at his wine glass like it held the secrets of the universe. And me? I just kept chewing my roll like nothing happened, like he hadn't just lit a match in a